Hello everyone. It's been a couple months since I originally recorded this video, so I thought I'd do an intro. This is me in my process of making a Tudor gown from approximately 1540, and I hope you enjoy my process. So I'm getting ready to do the thing. I'm not sure how well it'll go, but I'm going to try. I am going to cut my fabric for this Tudor gown. I am rather terrified at the moment because I've never done this before. This is my faux fur. So yes, wish me luck. So I started my thing. It's going okay so far, but I'm not really sure because I've just done a rough cut because I am scared to do the full hard cut on this velvet. It is approximately what they would have used, which is an upholstery fabric. So it's an upholstery velvet. So not only is it got the pile, but it is also very thick and very hard to cut through, and I decided to make it a little more difficult for myself by, instead of using what they used, which is another upholstery fabric, I'm using this. And that is my fur. And it is fluffy. Cutting it is not very fun, but I am enjoying the process of getting started. So those are all my rough cut pieces. I have added like an inch to each piece all the way around, so that as I go I can decide on each individual part by itself and not freak out if I accidentally cut one wrong to begin with. So I don't know if you'll be able to hear this because my neighbors are doing something with a water hose thing, but here is my solution to being super scared about cutting velvet. I am taking an old piece of sheet, well in this case pillowcase, and I am being super careful about how I cut it so that I can see where all the markings are. And I am going to base stitch this to the velvet because it's going to be sandwiched between interfacing and a lining anyway. And I am going to use this to mark where I need to put circles and where I need to super be careful cut the velvet, so that when I get done it will all be this shape. Though I may be super lazy and just fold over the edges and make it just do that instead, and then just line it that way, but I'm not sure yet, so I'll update you when So here's what I was talking about. See, I hand basted all the way around within the seam allowance so that I could get all the pieces in, and this is much sturdier than the tissue paper. So I'm going to do the same thing here and see how that turned out. Very tight, and it made me feel much better about cutting the velvet. So eventually all of that will be in the seam, so I don't even have to pull it out. I might if I'm feeling really finicky, which I probably won't, but it helps again to stiffen this fabric a little more. But it also makes it so that I can cut the velvet without worrying about it slipping too much. It may be an extra step in this whole process. I think it'll be worth it. So I didn't update you last night because I got super frustrated with putting these layers together. But here's all the layers. Here's the front. This side is a little messed up, but I can live with it. I'll fix it when I do set in the sleeves. I just need to pull this side in and straighten that mess out. But this side turned out pretty good. The inside has no raw edges. Well, this is going to be the sleeve, so that's different. Back, side, middle. So yes, I did not want raw edges on the inside of this because I'd like to have it for a long time, and I don't want it getting messed up too easily. So next is putting on my corset and trying on, and if I feel like it, I might update you on that. So here is the sleeve before it gets attached to yellow velvet. As you can see, I've seamed this, and then what I did was I zigzagged along the seam allowance so that it'll stay in place. I also lined the fur so I could get a better grip on it. Again, this is just old sheeting that was hanging around. Now here is the sleeve that I've completed for attaching it. As you can see, it is in there. There's the lining. The sheeting is covered up by the lining, so it doesn't matter what color it was. I'm so going to need to go over this with a lint roller. There is fake fur everywhere. And here is the first sleeve that'll get turned back. And you can see why I picked it, because the color contrast. Black, I just think would have been too harsh on this. So yes, that's how that's going. I'll try to video me setting in the sleeve when I get to the hand part, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to ease this into the shoulder, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bind it off with some black satin bias ribbon I have, which will cover up the raw edges, which is what I ended up doing here. Here. I did that simply because I couldn't get this edge to lay down right, and it wasn't looking right. So you can see a little bit here. So what I did was I machine stitched the edge with this ribbon, and then I whip stitched down this edge, which created a clean effect, because my big thing with all of this is I want a clean inside. I don't want raw edges, which is why I'm going to have to line the skirt itself. But that's another matter, probably for tomorrow, if I can get the sleeves in tonight. So that's my progress right now. It is 7:30 in the evening, and I might not set in the sleeves today, but I might. Fingers crossed I will, because I don't want this to take forever. I want to wear at least the top in the next week, which is why I'm trying to book it and get this done. So I didn't video any yesterday because I started working in the skirt and I was cursing. Velvet is not fun to do in straight panels. But I have gotten all the panels assembled and now I'm just working on whip stitching down the binding for the seams I have to do. I'll turn it so you can see. I need to whip stitch this down like I did over here. See, it's encasing the seam and keeping it all from unraveling. I'm not sure about what I'm going to do about this. I may just leave it because I'm going to whip stitch it by hand. And this is the whole reason I lined everything, is so that I do not have any seamage on the front. I don't want that. I want it to be as smooth and as possible. So today my goal is to get all this whip stitched down, including the facing for the cartridge pleating. And if I get all that done and I still have a little bit of energy to do, I'm going to start cartridge pleating, which is why I've got 1/4 inch all the way around. But I am going to mark on what line I need to stitch so that it'll be straight and even as possible, because I don't have gingham and I don't want to buy just like 1/4 of it when I don't need to. So overall, this has been a really successful couple of days and I'm really happy with how everything's turning out. I'm hoping that it keeps going this way because I'd like to have this done somewhat soon, because I would like to take pictures of it and show everyone my awesome Tudor gown. But I still need to get a couple things for it. I need to finish the farthingale, I need to do the underskirt and the 4 sleeves, and the French hood. And once I've got all that done, then I'll be able to show everyone what it looks like. That's probably all I'm going to do for today, though I may update you tomorrow and show everyone what it looks like then. So I'm not sure all of what you could see last night, if anything at all, but this is what I managed to get done yesterday. I hemmed everything. Yeah, let's find an actual hem for you guys here. I hemmed everything and I just whip stitched it to the lining, so if I did mess up on length or lining it, it'll drape out. And I set in these pleats, though I do need to baste them in today. And I created my cartridge pleating. And then I decided to be a little anal. And I back stitched in here, along there. Let's see if I can get this to zoom properly. No, it doesn't want to zoom in. But yeah, I back stitched in the cartridge splitting so it wouldn't pop out, and then I also, along the top, I don't know if you can see it well, but I herringboned in the pleating to keep it nice and even. So I'll do the front the same way, so that it's nice and tight and even, so that when it's worn, it'll do the fluffy outy thingy. But this morning I am going to, well, it's actually like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's my morning. But today I'm going to do the other half, as in the other side of this. And how I compensated for not having gingham is just doing this, which is, I took a piece of my leftover off-white muslin stuff, and I marked 2 lines where I'm supposed to sew, and then I did a 1/4 inch away. Yes! Yay! So, I've decided to stop for the night because I've got the skirt attached to the bodice. There's all the cartridge pleating. So it's been a while since I talked to you guys, but I've decided that this is going to be a project by project vlog. So I got my 4-part and 4-sleeve fabric. It's this one right here. This is the faux fur I'm using, and that's my velvet. I think it's going to be pretty nice altogether. So now I can take that to the store with me and get my small faceted beads and pick up a few other things. And this is my big mess of fabric. Fabric. I love fabric. But while I was waiting for that to come, I started my French hood. I'll probably be getting some black lining and just go over that with the black so it hides it. I need to put that in there better anyway. I'll probably put black over that too, simply to hold it down better. And I also, once I got the fabric, I started, that's one of the COVID videos I'm watching, I started my 4 sleeves. So I've got it cut out, I've got it lined. This is just the white cotton, neutral cotton muslin. I've got the slashes cut out. They're not the greatest. This isn't the greatest fabric, but it looks right. And that's what I'm more concerned about with this project. I wanted to get the look right, if nothing else. But yes, I've got 2 4 sleeves about halfway done, so I'm officially about probably 2/3 done. The overdress is done. Most of the other projects are at least started. I've got all my under things completed. That's my farthingale. It's got all its boning in, and it does hold up the skirts pretty well. So I just thought I'd give you all an update and let you see my pretty progress. Another thing I'm hoping to pick up when I go to the fabric store is trimming for the edge of this, so I can put in faceted beading and pearls. And I need to pick up some thread so I can fix this mess. The stitches want to pop out, so I need to pick up some heavier duty thread and fix it. Good morning, you fabulous people. So yesterday I did a run to Joann's to get more supplies for this project because I had not planned this out all the way. So if you've been reading my Instagram posts, I've been plotting this out and trying to plan it so that I get this all ready to go. So I'll show you what I've been doing since I got that stuff. So here is my French hood. It now has the veil as well as some trim attached on top. I still need to get the 1-inch trim, or I should say 1-inch ribbon, to go along there. But I do have pearls that I might be adding today. I haven't decided what I'm going to do today. I couldn't find a knoll, so I haven't been able to do the eyelets here because I want to tie this instead of using a closure, because I have a feeling I did too generous seam allowances, and I don't really care because I like how it's turning out. But yes, I got all this felt yesterday, and then I took it tip from the Tudor tailor and how they do their under petticoats or farthingales or any of that. And they always line the bottom with the expensive fabric. So that's what I did. I do need to hem all of this today, which is going to be fun. But hey, that's what you get when you do things. And in my stash corner, I got my white, looks kind of like silk fabric. It's white polyester, but it looks and behaves similarly to how I think silk acts. It's very slippery, but it's also very stiff, and I can't see my fingers through it, which is better than what I could say about most of the white fabrics I have seen. I also got this bias tape and sewed and whip stitched in, though I do need to go back through and make sure I marked all the spots for the shank buttons right. See, I put circle X's, and I haven't been able to find ones I like for those yet. So. And there's my skirt again. And this is what else I found. I got this gold cord for around the neckline, so I can do that with more pearls. I got this embroidery floss, so when I get my awl, I can do the eyelets with this. As you can see, it almost completely matches. I had this in my stash, but I need to go around the bottom of this skirt and use it to hold in the seam allowance down there. Though I do need to go through and mark where I need the skirt to end. So yes, all things together, I think I did a pretty good job. It is probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I don't really care because I'm excited about all this projecting. And I'll try to update you later. If I don't, then I'll update you tomorrow morning. Okay. Here is the update on the hood. Here, let's get out of the blinding sunlight, especially when you've got metallics. Here are all the pearls sewn on. I'm going to get some faceted beads, and they will go in between each of the pearls, and then there will be a white or off-white ribbon right here, right on the bill, and then behind that I'll stick some more of the faceted beads, so it'll effectively look like a crown on top. So I have had a pretty successful day. I have hemmed the underskirt. I have bejeweled the headdress, which I think turned out pretty amazing. It looks glorious, and it'll look even better when I get it all the way done. I have trimmed and bejeweled the top of the dress. That is my cat. Hi, baby girl. Meow. I still need to put in the smaller pieces. Probably go here, here. But I'm not sure about that yet. I may do one on either side, depending on how many I get. So yes, I am making a lot of progress, and this might be done before too long. Though I did discover a issue I have with farthingale. I don't think the boning is in there right. So I need to go through and restitch all the ribbon I have stitched down and make it tighter, but I'll probably do that by hand so I can keep the bones in there while I do it, and hopefully this will keep the bones from warping and twisting while it's on, which is making the whole thing collapse, which is kind of pointless when you're trying to create the Tudor silhouette, which is huge and fluffy. So I'll probably work on that tomorrow and any other projects going on. So it took me 3 days, but I've got the farthingales done. The reason it took me so long is A, because my body's starting to act up from all the hand sewing, and B, because all this had to be hand done because, well, I'm pulling fabric through fabric. Forgive the noise, the dog is being silly. So yes, I now have 2 4 parts, and fingers crossed, tomorrow I will try it all on and see how it does. I am just about finished. I really do have to just find, here, I'm almost finished. I really do just have to find a few more things to put on it. I need to get a white ribbon for my French hood and get my 4mm beads for the rest of it. But other than that, I am finished with my Tudor gown. So tomorrow I'll try it all on and I'll have a video taken of me wearing it. I may have to make some other adjustments to the Spanish farthingale. That's it, farthingale. Sorry, had a brain fart. But then again, it is almost midnight, I guess. So I'll try it all on tomorrow, and I'll try to videotape me putting it all on, and I'll try to videotape me moving around outside with it on. All together, I hope it goes well. I hope it looks lovely. Fingers crossed it will. I probably will have to get some help putting at least the gown itself on. I can get all the underpinnings on, but I think I'll probably have to have some help with the gown and probably the 4 sleeves. Yeah, probably the 4 sleeves. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow morning, and I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you